Anyway, my genre thought of the day. Because just before Sabbath, I heard Ian Paul, and he mentioned Westworld. He'd been watching Westworld. I'm like, yes! Because I love Tim Paul. I think he's a very good dude. And I love Westworld. I think it's one of the greatest shows ever made, right? Now, I'm going to explain to you why I believe it's one of the greatest shows ever, why I love it so much, right? It's not like an upgrade, it's better than yours. No, it's just why I love it so much. I do love it. I absolutely love it. It's going to take a while to explain it, but essentially, I was going to spoil the fuck out of it of the first 3 seasons, but it doesn't matter. It genuinely doesn't matter. Because it's like you can watch and enjoy even with it, but it's the final moments of season 3, right? Which I'm going to hold up as one of the most perfect moments in entertainment, right? On so many levels, right? And I'll explain to you what it is. So if you don't know, Westworld is a story. It's from a 1970s movie written by Michael Crichton about a theme park where it's full of robots, and so you get to act out your fantasies with them. You get to fuck them. You know, you get to, and so in the movie, there's Westworld, Roman world, and medieval world. In the revival TV show, it's mainly Westworld. You get a hint. There's Samurai World, right? I can't remember what other ones that you noticed, right? But it's much darker, right? Because it's now I never knew this, right? And this is why I can never play Grand Theft Auto, right? Like, you know, I don't want to be a pimp. I don't want to do all that. Can I just get a job? This isn't doing it for me, right? Unless I'm not into being that, right? It's like, but like, you know, most people do have that kind of id fantasy, and that's how they would act out during Westworld in a very realistic way. Again, these robots were like completely realistic. Now the thing behind it is it's about the generation of new life, because these robots didn't become almost instantly sentient. They realized, and then they had to put some kind of limiter on it, I think, or like that. Or no, every time they became too aware, they had to like wind back their factory settings essentially over decades, right? And it was always the one that the robot. It was the one that was basically designed to be raped and tortured. That's a function, right? It was so you could be a black hat, you know, bad guy, right, and kill the gunslinger and rape his woman, right? That was her function, right? And that's the one that always became self-aware. Unfortunately. And it was always going to be the first one. Anyway, it's not about that character, right? There's another character, another robot who was the madam of the whorehouse, right? Played by Tandy Newton. It's so good. I'm telling you. From this, I would love to see a Tandy Newton action movie, because she was so good doing the action stuff. She was so great in this thing altogether. So it was... she starts life as you first meet her. She's the madam of the local like Western whorehouse, right? With the hottest whores known to man. I mean, like, oh my god, these women are just like insanely sexy, and they do feature back on the show. You know, they're like insanely sexy. Well, she's got she's got this speech in it about what was it? I'm from I said to myself, she came from England. So I said to myself, this is a new world. In a new world, you can be whatever the fuck you want, right? And now they have loops, right? Loops that they're like, you know, NTPs, right? They have NTPs that become self-aware essentially. They have loops of speeches and attitudes and things like that, and things they act out. And so you see her give that line over and over again, right? And this robot becomes self-aware, wakes herself up, and the first thing she does is make herself into a genius. She's such a great character. I'm telling you, she's absolutely the best character in the show, in my opinion. I really, really like this character. She's always fun, right? She's always bonkers. Oh yeah, I got a clip. 1 second. A clip of her giving that line here. 1 second. Here we go. Exactly right. There you go.
World. And in this world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
Right? Okay, so that's her line. So anyway, season 1 is basically about these things breaking out from their conditioning and becoming self-aware. There's a really good plot with, it's going to be a subplot really, with Annie Hopkins as their creator, right? Silently setting them free. Where the first thing they do is like massacre the hotel residents who've been, raping and beating them essentially. So they massacre a bunch of them. So the second season ostensibly is about a military response to this and the quelling of this revolution, right? Essentially, what happens is most of the androids go missing, and then no, they find their bodies, but they're like empty, and they basically had themselves copied into some kind of cyberspace, some kind of protected cyberspace. Which I think was quite a clever solution. One gets out, I think. No, there's two gets out. That Maeve, I think. No, she doesn't get out. One second. One, she nearly gets out, but she comes back because she's a very layered character. Before she was the man in the whorehouse, she used to be a prospector who had a daughter, right? Who I think was murdered several times by the main bad guy in it, played by. What's his name? What's it called again? RoboCop. He's such a great actor, especially in this. Ed Harris. Oh, what a great turn he gives in this. That's a bit around. Was he RoboCop, Ed Harris? I think he was RoboCop. No, is he RoboCop? I think he was. Anyway, I digress. She gets out with a few of the hard drives of 4 or 5 other robots, right? Using a duplicate of this important executive that she put her consciousness in. All right, so that was the cliffhanger scene. But season 1, 2 was what would happen if you created artificial life, right? And that's, to me, I love that sort of shit, right? Plus, it's very layered. It's because there's a layer of super cool running through it. There's a layer of very intelligent storytelling, which is non-linear, especially in the first season, and very cleverly so, right? And that's a huge component of it. Fantastic characters, right? And just a cool setting, right? So it all really comes together, right? People didn't like season 2 because they felt it went woke. I strongly disagree with that opinion. I think that works only on a surface evaluation. I've seen this show several times now. Right, and because I'm obsessed by it because it's so clever, right? I really genuinely love it. Anyway, the third season, right, is essentially what happens if these intelligences get into the real world, right? And there's an inevitability. And I think this runs through the entire series, which was never really completed. They did 4 seasons. They want to do a 5th. But I think the 5th season would have been with the extinction of humanity. The idea is whenever you have a superior life form, introduced, it will destroy the inferior, the evolution, essentially, right? So I'm sure that's where it was going. Again, because I think it's pretty clever. I think the last season will take place mainly in cyberspace. Anyway, I digress. Get out and one of the first interesting things, it's the first one who came sentient, Dolores, who's the hard drive, and you wonder who's on the other hard drives. It's all her, right? It's all a copy of her hard drive. And the fascinating thing is when they put the hard drive, the consciousness, into a duplicate body of something. Let's say there's something important, so they kill them and they take their body, right? And they make a robot duplicate of the body and then put the hard drive in, right? It's a qualitatively different person, right? It really is. It's really so. Essentially, through I would say season 3 and 4, you have this character Dolores, who one of them is put in. What's that super SJW actress? Valkyrie from Thor. What's her name? Who's actually quite good in this. Valkyrie actress. Let's do that. Tessa Thompson. Right. So there's one with this character Dolores put in a copy of Tessa Thompson, and there's one in a copy of her body, and they become antagonists. It's really fascinating, right? It's so that's but that's not what's going on, right? So you have another AI which is apparently in control of the entire world, right? Because otherwise the world will spiral into self-destruction. It is the conclusion of this like wealthy billionaire person, right? So Era's life is very, very controlled by this AI, and it's the job of the ones from Westworld, this opposing one, to set humanity free. So that's really the driving force of the third season, right? And then because like you let's say you want to like make progress and make yourself better, you'll be blocked in every way, right? Because if the system says you're supposed to die when you're 36 of suicide, that's what we're going to make sure happens, right? That's what's optimum, right? Anybody who doesn't fit in that, we're going to get rid of them. So I liked all that. I thought that was very clever. Anyway, they revived Maeve, Tandy Newton's character, to work for the other AI to battle Dolores, which again I thought was fascinating. And again, she's such a great character. But so in the end, she takes on again spoiler. She takes on the other side's cause, right? To free humanity, and what they do is they upload every secret file, so everybody gets their file and they see and the world goes crazy, right? It falls apart. And so the ending of it is like her and Aaron Paul, and he's so good in this. I forgive him for the "I'm sorry" video, for the whatever it was. Oh God, it was so embarrassing. Aaron, you and your buddies, you can hire me. I am cheap as chips. 10 grand a week, right? 10 grand. I was going to say 10 grand a month, smart that I was. 10 grand a week, 10 grand. I'll tell you when you're being a prick, okay? I don't mind. 10 grand. Do you understand how much egg you will save from your idiot face for 10 grand a week? Really? Tell you what. If you now 15 grand a week, I'll do you and Bryan Cranston. Okay. Can't say further than that. Actually, I can't say further. I think it's very, very generous of me. Quite frankly. Anyway, so it gets to the point where it's like so everyone's found out their fate at the end of the season, and the world is going crazy. People are freaking out, and it's like, and they're walking through the chaos to the dark side of the moon plate. And I'm going to play the clip because it's like, why am I explaining it? Because there's so many layers of meaning in this, and I think it's so freaking clever, right? And entertaining and enjoyable at the same time. Right, I'm really. This is why I said. This is why I said. This is why I think. This is why I love Westworld. Let me get the clip. That's Dolores. Again, I forgive them from being like such woke weirdos because their work's so good. This is. Yeah, awesome.
This is the new world. And in this world, you can be whoever the fuck you want.
And if the dam breaks open many years too soon.
Awesome. It really is awesome. I'm sorry, that's a perfect moment in entertainment for me, right? It is, because they said when she can deliver that line, you showed that was her personality, which you saw being developed, right, through season 1, because these are artificial beings. It's just brilliant, plus awesome, right? Brilliant plus awesome. Westworld, baby. Listen, I can only recommend it so much. I really can. And actually, season 4, while having I would say a not too compelling first episode, is the best one. Oh my God, what happens in season 4 is redonkulous, right? And the ending of that is also, I was probably another perfect moment. Like, you know what? I like this segment. I'm going to do more of these, perfect moments in sci-fi, perfect moments in genre, because there's so many of them. Oh, we could go anywhere. We could do the Reliant Attack on from Star Trek 2. Oh, you know what was recommended to me recently by YouTube? I got a few of these Cisco and Ebert reviews from from the time, right? So the 1982 review of Star Trek 2. And it's so cool to hear them loving it and reviewing it as a contemporary movie. Same with Superman. I heard their review of that. They're delightful, right? And also Barry Norman. It's just absolutely delightful. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.